You've been staring at that vision board for months now. The same images of success, abundance, love, all perfectly curated to represent the life you desperately want to live. You've meditated on them, journaled about them, felt the emotions as if they were real. But here you are, weeks later, still in the same apartment, still checking your bank account with that familiar knot in your stomach, still wondering why the universe seems to be ignoring your requests. What if I told you that the problem isn't your visualization technique? What if the issue isn't that you're not trying hard enough or thinking positively enough? What if the real block is that you're operating from a completely misunderstood principle of how reality actually works? The truth is, manifestation has nothing to do with convincing the universe to give you what you want. It has everything to do with becoming the energetic equivalent of what you're seeking. The quantum field doesn't respond to your desires, it responds to your identity. And most people are trying to manifest from an identity that fundamentally contradicts what they're asking for. Think about it this way. If you want financial abundance but every time you spend money you feel guilty or anxious, what signal are you really broadcasting? If you want deep love but you reject compliments and push away intimacy, what frequency are you actually embodying? Your external visualizations mean nothing if your internal operating system is running on old programming. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract what they want while others struggle for years with the same goals. It's not about luck or being chosen. It's about energetic coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all broadcasting the same signal, the field has no choice but to mirror that back to you. But here's where most people get stuck. They think coherence means forcing themselves to feel positive all the time or pretending they already have what they want. That's not coherence. That's resistance disguised as manifestation. True coherence happens when you stop trying to become someone else and start remembering who you actually are beneath all the conditioning. Every human being has experienced moments of perfect alignment. Times when you felt completely at peace for no apparent reason. Moments when the right words flowed effortlessly from you. Decisions that felt like they came from a deeper knowing rather than mental analysis. Those weren't accidents. Those were glimpses of your natural frequency when it's not being interfered with by fear, doubt, or the need to control outcomes.
The secret isn't learning something new.
It's unlearning everything that's blocking your natural state of coherence. It's recognizing that the version of you who lives your desired reality isn't some future self you need to become. It's who you are when you're not contracting around lack. Most people are walking around in a constant state of energetic contradiction. They want abundance but think from scarcity. They desire love but operate from worthiness issues. They dream of freedom but make choices from fear. The field reads this contradiction and mirrors back exactly that: mixed results, confusion, and the feeling of being close but never quite there. But what happens when you stop contradicting yourself? What happens when your inner reality and your outer actions start speaking the same language?
Everything shifts.
Not because you forced it to, but because there's nothing blocking the natural flow anymore. This isn't about positive thinking or affirmations or any technique that requires you to override your authentic experience. This is about identifying the core beliefs that are creating interference and allowing them to dissolve naturally. It's about noticing where you're leaking energy into past stories or future worries and gently returning to the present moment where your power actually exists. The most profound shifts happen not when you're trying to manifest something, but when you're simply being yourself without apology or modification. When you speak your truth even if it's not what others want to hear. When you make choices that align with your values even if they don't make logical sense. When you trust your intuition even when you can't explain why. These moments of authenticity create ripples in the quantum field that are far more powerful than any visualization technique. Because authenticity is coherence in action.
It's your true frequency broadcasting without interference.
And that signal is magnetic in a way that manufactured positivity never can be. The paradox of manifestation is that the less you need something to happen, the more likely it is to occur. Not because the universe is playing games with you, but because neediness creates resistance. When you need something, you're operating from the frequency of lack. When you prefer something but don't need it, you're operating from the frequency of abundance. This is why gratitude practices work, but not for the reasons most people think. Gratitude doesn't work because it convinces the universe you deserve more. It works because it shifts your attention from what's missing to what's already here. And what you focus on expands, not metaphysically, but neurologically. Your brain literally starts noticing more of what you're already appreciating. But even gratitude can become a technique if you're not careful. If you're practicing gratitude to get something, you're still operating from lack. True gratitude arises spontaneously when you're present enough to notice the miracle that existence itself represents. It's not something you do, it's something you are when you're not lost in stories about how life should be different. The people who seem to manifest effortlessly aren't using secret techniques or special formulas. They're simply not interfering with their natural state of flow. They've learned to trust life instead of trying to control it. They make decisions from inspiration rather than desperation. They take action from clarity rather than confusion. And here's what's beautiful about this understanding: you don't have to become someone different to access this state. You just have to stop being someone you're not. You have to stop performing worthiness and start embodying it. You have to stop chasing validation and start trusting your own knowing. You have to stop waiting for permission and start giving it to yourself. This shift can happen in an instant. Not because you suddenly get everything you want, but because you suddenly remember that you're already whole. That you're already enough. That your worthiness isn't dependent on external circumstances. And from that space of wholeness, your actions naturally align with your highest good. The manifestation happens automatically because there's no more contradiction in your system. You're not wanting something from a place of lack, you're expressing something from a place of fullness. You're not trying to get love, you're being loving. You're not trying to attract abundance, you're appreciating what's already abundant in your life. Sometimes people worry that if they stop wanting things so intensely, they'll become complacent. But the opposite is true. When you're not driven by lack, you're free to be motivated by inspiration. When you're not running from fear, you can run toward joy. Your actions become more powerful, not less, because they're coming from a place of strength rather than weakness. The quantum field responds to this kind of energy immediately. Not always in the ways you expect, but always in alignment with your highest good. Opportunities appear that you never could have planned for.
Synchronicity multiplie.
The right people show up at the right time. Resources become available in unexpected ways. But here's the key: none of this happens because you're trying to make it happen. It happens because you've stopped interfering with what wants to happen naturally. You've aligned yourself with the flow of life instead of swimming against it. You've become a cooperative component in the universe's unfolding rather than a resistant force trying to bend reality to your personal will. This is the ultimate paradox of manifestation. The moment you truly let go of needing to control outcomes is the moment you become truly powerful. Not powerful in a dominance way, but powerful in a flow way. You looking at the reference material, I can see this as a spiritual/manifestation-focused video with a calm, introspective tone that focuses on quantum frequency and embodiment rather than traditional visualization techniques. I'll create a completely original script that captures this essence while exploring a different angle of the manifestation journey. Script *. You wake up every morning with the same question echoing in your mind. When will it finally happen? When will the life you see so clearly in your heart actually show up in your reality? You've been doing everything right, haven't you? The journaling, the vision boards, the meditation sessions where you paint every detail of your dream life with such precision that you can almost taste it. Yet here you are, still waiting, still hoping, still wondering if you're missing some secret ingredient that everyone else seems to know. What if I told you that the very act of waiting is the frequency that's keeping your dreams at arm's length? What if the energy of seeking is actually the signal that tells the universe to keep hiding what you're looking for? Today, we're going to dive deep into something most manifestation teachers won't tell you. We're going to explore why your most beautiful visions feel so close you could touch them, yet remain frustratingly out of reach. The quantum field operates on a principle that defies everything you've been taught about getting what you want. It doesn't respond to desperation, hope, or even positive thinking. It responds to one thing only: the frequency of already having. And that frequency has nothing to do with pretending and everything to do with remembering who you actually are beneath all the stories about what you lack. Think about the last time something amazing happened in your life, something that felt effortless, natural, meant to be. Did you spend months visualizing it? Did you make a vision board for it? Probably not. It simply flowed into your experience because in that moment, your energy wasn't contradicting your desire.
You weren't pushing against reality.
You were in a state of allowance, of natural magnetism, of being exactly who you needed to be to receive what was already yours. This is the frequency we're talking about. It's not something you create through meditation or affirmations. It's something you uncover by removing everything that's blocking your natural state of alignment.
Because the truth is, you were born magnetic. You were born worthy.
You were born with the ability to call forth experiences that match your deepest essence. But somewhere along the way, you learned to doubt that power, to question your worthiness, to believe that good things require struggle and proof. The quantum field doesn't care about your history. It doesn't check your bank account or your resume before deciding whether you deserve love, abundance, or success.
It simply mirror back the energy you're broadcasting in this moment.
And if that energy is clouded with doubt, fear, or the story that you're not enough yet, then that's exactly what gets reflected back to you. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment you stop trying to become worthy and start remembering that you already are, everything begins to shift. Not because you've convinced the universe to give you what you want, but because you've stopped blocking what was always flowing toward you. I remember working with someone who had been trying to manifest her soulmate for 3 years. She had done every technique, every ritual, every manifestation method she could find. Nothing was working. When we looked deeper, we discovered that she was carrying a frequency of, "I'm not complete without someone else." Every meditation, every visualization was coming from that place of lack. The universe wasn't withholding her person. She was repelling them with the very energy she was using to call them in. The shift happened when she stopped trying to manifest love and started embodying it. She began treating herself the way she wanted to be treated. She started speaking to herself with kindness. She created beauty in her space not because she was trying to attract someone, but because she genuinely enjoyed living in beauty. Within 6 weeks, she met someone in the most unexpected, natural way. Not because the universe finally decided to reward her patience, but because her frequency had shifted from seeking love to being love. This is the secret that changes everything.
You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are.
And who you are at your core, beneath all the conditioning and fear, is already magnificent. Already whole. Already worthy of everything you've been dreaming about. The reason your visualizations feel so real, so possible, is because they are. That future version of yourself isn't a fantasy. It's a frequency that already exists in the quantum field, waiting for you to match it. But matching it doesn't mean working harder or wanting it more. It means releasing the resistance that's keeping you vibrating at a different level. What does resistance look like? It looks like checking your phone to see if your manifestation has arrived yet. It looks like feeling disappointed when things don't happen on your timeline. It looks like the subtle anxiety that whispers, "What if it never happens?" every time you dare to dream big. It's the energy of separation, of being here while your dreams are over there. But what if there is no over there? What if the only place your dreams can manifest is right here, in this moment, through the person you choose to be today? What if your future self isn't someone you become later, but someone you can access right now by shifting the way you move through the world? This isn't about positive thinking or fake it till you make it. This is about quantum coherence. It's about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions so they all tell the same story. When your inner world matches your desired outer world, the field has no choice but to reflect that harmony back to you. Let me share something that might surprise you. The most powerful manifestation technique isn't visualization. It's presence. It's the ability to be fully here, fully alive, fully appreciative of what's already in your life. Because when you're truly present,
You're not broadcasting lack. You're broadcasting wholeness.
and wholeness attracts more wholeness. I've watched people transform their entire reality simply by changing how they start their mornings. Instead of waking up thinking about everything they don't have yet, they begin each day by feeling genuine gratitude for what's already here. Not gratitude as a technique to get more, but gratitude as a recognition of the abundance that already surrounds them. When you wake up tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you start planning your day, take a moment to feel into your body.
Notice your breath. Feel the sheets against your skin.
Acknowledge that you made it through another night and have been gifted another day of life.
This isn't manifestation work.
This is remembering that you're already living in a miracle. From that place of presence, of genuine appreciation, notice what wants to emerge. Not what you think you should want, but what genuinely calls to you. Maybe it's creating something beautiful. Maybe it's connecting with someone you love. Maybe it's simply moving through your day with a sense of curiosity and wonder.
This is embodied manifestation.
This is living from the frequency of your future self not as a performance, but as a recognition of who you truly are. Because your future self isn't someone who has different things. They're someone who sees the same world through different eyes. They see abundance everywhere because they're not focused on scarcity. They feel loved because they're not looking for validation. They experience success because they're not measuring themselves against others. They live in flow because they're not fighting against what is. You can access this perspective right now. Not through visualization, but through choice. The choice to see beauty instead of problems. The choice to feel gratitude instead of lack. The choice to trust the process instead of forcing outcomes. This doesn't mean being passive or giving up on your dreams. It means pursuing them from a place of joy rather than desperation. It means taking inspired action rather than forcing action. It means trusting that the same intelligence that grows flowers and moves planets is also orchestrating the perfect timing for your dreams to unfold. The quantum field is always listening, always responding, always reflecting back the energy you're putting out. But it's not responding to your words or even your thoughts. It's responding to your state of being. And your state of being is determined by where you place your attention in this moment. Are you focused on what's missing or what's here? Are you vibrating in the frequency of not enough or more than enough?
Are you living from fear or love?
These choices, made moment by moment, are what create your reality. Here's something beautiful to consider. Every time you choose love over fear, gratitude over complaint, trust over control, you're not just changing your own frequency. You're contributing to a collective shift. You're making it easier for others to access these higher states. You're literally changing the world by changing yourself.
This is why your manifestation journey isn't just about you.
It's about becoming the person who can hold these elevated frequencies on behalf of everyone who isn't ready yet. It's about modeling what's possible when someone stops seeking and starts being.
Ah, we come to the end of our time together. I want you to feel into something.
Right now, in this moment, you are exactly where you need to be. Every experience has been preparing you for this understanding. Every challenge has been strengthening your ability to hold your center. Every disappointment has been teaching you to find your joy independently of external circumstances. You are not behind.
You are not missing out.
You are not broken or lacking in any way. You are a magnificent being having a human experience, remembering how to align with your true nature. And your true nature is pure creative potential, unlimited possibility, infinite love. The life you've been visualizing isn't coming to you. It's emerging from you. It's not a future event, but a present frequency. It's not something you achieve, but something you embody. And you can begin embodying it right now, in this moment, by choosing to see yourself and your life through the eyes of love instead of lack.
Take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Place your hand on your attendrement B. You are not waiting for your life to begin. Your life is happening now.
Your power is available now. Your worthiness exists now. Everything you need to create everything you desire is already within you. The quantum frequency that unlocks the life you keep visualizing isn't something you tune into. It's something you remember you've always been broadcasting.
You just forgot to listen.
But now you're remembering. And that remembering changes everything. If this message found you at exactly the right time, if something in these words felt like a key turning in a lock you didn't even know existed, then maybe this isn't just a video. Maybe it's a mirror, reflecting back the truth you've always known but were afraid to trust. Maybe it's an invitation to stop seeking and start being.
To stop waiting and start living.
To stop hoping and start knowing that you are already everything you've ever dreamed of becoming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being brave enough to question what you've been taught about manifestation and open enough to consider a different way. The world needs people who understand this frequency, who live from this knowing, who model what's possible when someone aligns with their true nature. Keep remembering. Keep choosing love. Keep trusting the process. Your life is already beautiful. Your dreams are already real. You just need to adjust the frequency you're listening to.
And now you know how.